Welcome to John Makes Beats, where John makes beats. I'm your host, Geoff, and today we're gonna make a beat on the MPC X Special Edition. I have this Novation launch key, and it's a MIDI controller being powered by the MPC, and then it's also sending MIDI information to the MPC. No music is coming out of this thing. Everything's gonna be generated within the MPC. We have the Native Instruments plugins in here. Akai was nice enough to send those over to me. These Sway, Noct, Homage, Cloud Supply, Analog Dreams. We're probably gonna stay mostly within this. Maybe I'll go to Fabric for like a piano or something, and then we'll bounce that to audio and treat that as a sample. That's kind of the idea here. So let's start with just finding something that sounds good as kind of like a bass. Not a bass, but like a bassist. I say that as we just like scroll through a bunch of basses. Oh, that's cool. Let's see what's up. Yeah, that sounds nice. So let's record starting with that. We're gonna create a dummy sequence instead of it being a 2-bar sequence. We're gonna make it like an 80-bar sequence. If you can't think of something, think of a way around it. I don't always like need to go back to the manual and think, how do I do this right? You know, I'll never get anything done. As I play, you'll be able to see the notes. And let's just start recording. All right, let's say it's enough. Let's let that ring out. You see we have all of this now. We're gonna bounce the sample. You see right here? Okay, let's just make another drum one. Bounce plugin 001. This is what we want. So now we have this pad that has basically our whole performance. Let's go into sample edit. Okay, do you see how much silence? Obviously, we have problems with my method because this is just a waste of hard drive space. We're already here, so let's take a look. We're gonna go in here. Let's create a series of chops. And then as I just see the waveforms, I'm just gonna create chops as it goes. And it's easy because the transients on the notes are pretty obvious. I love that noise. And we're gonna lean in that noise. I mean, that's great. See, the thing I like about this sort of method is that the burden of foresight gets completely removed from what I'm doing here. If I sat down and I said, I want to come up with a melody, you have to have the conviction that that's the right idea. And when I sit here and I just kind of noodle around and we kind of go through it afterward, I can kind of come at it from an editor's point of view as I'm listening to it. All right, so now that we have all of that, I kind of want this to be a central concept here. I really enjoy this part of working. I could literally be here for hours. It's also where I kind of become familiar with what I'm doing. And then by the time we're here at this part, I kind of understand where I want to go. I think we have everything we need. Pitch the sample. Oh! 3 semitones down is kind of a vibe. You notice when I'm playing these samples, right? It'll just stop. And I don't like that. Ping pong looping exists on the MPC-X in the form of a tail length. Now you can't have it go on forever. It is a decay. I think that's enough. Ooh. I think that's a good basis to work off of. And then it's gonna go over here. All right, so let's start. Now we have the 6-bar loop, and now let's start thinking of drums, okay? I think we would benefit from a drum break today. You know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna chop this up. That has a good sound to it. It matches with what we're doing here. But we have everything we need. We got kicks, we got snares, we got open hats. So let's do a couple things to sort of make this drum loop a little bit nicer to listen to. Compressor, I want this to be lower pitched. Put some stank on it. kind of blows out the kick a little bit, gives it more of an edge. All right, so this sounds a little stiff. We're going to humanize this a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing with the drums. I'm also gonna take this entire chord progression, I'm just gonna drag it back a little bit, because I don't like it when the transients of a chord and a drum are kind of on the same time. I don't know if that sounds different to anybody, but for me, it's the difference between nails on a chalkboard and a back rub. You know what I mean? Like, just that little bit of a difference. All right, I like the way this sounds. So we're going to create a new plugin. Let's try to find a lead. Let's look at Cloud Supply for the next instrument. Oh, this is cool. I like this. Let's record that. Ooh, there we go. All right, let's bring another plugin. Let's find a good piano here. Let's do that. Let's find maybe a bass line, huh? I do like that idea of going up here. There we go. That's good. Oh, that's it for sure. I don't think this needs too much, man. We need something else, but I don't know if it needs much. I kind of want like a trancey, like a more EDM type synth. Ooh, I like that a lot. Does it need to go anywhere else? Trying to see where that goes. It's always hard with fifths. There we go. I just played softer each time and it kind of just like proto fade out. Let's keep this going. We need like one or two more things. And let's see if we haven't used any of these plugins that I've already loaded yet. Hey. All right, so that's not gonna be playing over everything else. I mean, that's ridiculous. But we're gonna save that for a part of the track where we drop out a bunch of stuff and then we can do like a little piano thingy. I think that's the scientific term. One take Jake, one take Geoff, one take Geoff. We don't need to do much else, honestly. We're gonna start by removing some stuff at the beginning. So right there needs to be something else. I'm thinking like a, you know, sort of thing. I can't explain it better than that. It's like a granular synth. Hey, that's called sheep horn. And then one more thing, I think we need like a plug-in track where we just kind of have like a singular hit or something. Oh shit, I just feel like I hacked into the mainframe. Could you imagine that? It's actually not that bad. Yeah, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, let's do that. Okay, and since it kind of just stopped random like that, like weird, like why didn't they just introduce like a delay or something? We gotta do that ourselves. All right, I think we're good. We're gonna start recording that. I really like the way this turned out, man. This is a good track. I mean, if I could be objective, I'm happy with this. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you were at the live stream on the YouTube channel or you're watching the video playback, If you want to see how this beat was made, typically I'd say go to my Patreon, but this was filmed on the YouTube channel, so I'll link in the description the place where you can see, you know, the whole like multi-hour session. I think it's like 3 hours at this point. I really enjoy using the MPC X, even when it's just using the plugins inside of it. The ability to bounce stuff that you're recording to a sample that then you can chop. I mean, that's kind of my whole bag. So it's nice that you could just do that pretty easily in the machine. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Peace.